Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Line Plans. Today we're talking about April favorites and flops. What were the things that really worked awesome for the month of April? We'll spend a little bit of time kind of reflecting on how everything was. Even if it was like kind of an epic disaster, but that's okay. And we will also kind of chat about what worked, what didn't work, what were the things that were kind of just didn't work out so well. So if that sounds good, we're going to be breaking things down into a few different categories as always. We're going to talk about planners and notebooks, some decor, pens, highlighters, like writing utensils and inks, and accessories if applicable, and of course, what were the flops. So without further ado, why don't we just get started? And if we've never met and you love videos like this when we're talking about stationery things that really worked well, and just you love stationery in general, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance to already. We chat a couple of times a week here, and we're all about really finding ways to really utilize the things that we have instead of just over accumulating them, and then it's kind of collecting dust in your closet and closet. I don't know. I'm not sure if you keep your stationery in your closet, but maybe it's collecting on dust on your shelf or in your acrylic drawers, wherever you end up keeping them. Anyway, let's get started. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about planners and notebooks. So a few things that are working really well for this month that I really wanted to chat with you about. As something that made a comeback for the month of April was actually the Hobonichi weeks. And for a couple of reasons. So like the two things that I've been really liking is actually the Hobonichi weeks as well as the Traveler's Notebook, for two different reasons, kind of. So this is sort of like an accessory to this. And I think that that's kind of working well. Obviously, I'm still spending time in the Passport TN. I'm still working away at this little notebook. There's like, we're almost at the end. I would like to say we're almost at the end. So I think I'm going to be trucking along with that just to kind of finish her off. And this has been working well. Sometimes I find that I'm lacking a bit of space, or I'm just really using this in a very, very functional way. So I didn't want to spend too much time on talking about the Passport because that's not really what actually got a lot of love this month. What actually got a lot of love this past month was actually the Hobonichi weeks. And as you can tell, I already stuffed the inner pocket with all sorts of decor, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's mainly because of the daily pages. I really like the layout here, and for some reason, I really missed having like that daily just brain dump, and maybe I could have done that here in the Traveler's Notebook, but I didn't really reach for it. It wasn't the one that I was kind of like automatically reaching for. So this has been great for both the dailies as well as I started going back to the weekly layout. And honestly, there's just something that works really well for me here. And sometimes it looks as blank as it does. So this is actually the current week right now. I kind of go back and forth, and I kind of plan really similarly to the way that I would be planning here, but I find that the space difference here, it just allows me to add a bit more detail than what I would add here. So this is sort of like a preliminary form of planning, and any notes or things that are kind of coming up regularly, I kind of make a quick note of it, and then I can kind of transfer it into other systems. And so because it's sort of like that on-the-go, catch your thoughts type of system, it's becoming sort of central. The fact that like it has like a weekly layout and it has a note section in the back, I've been really utilizing it in a slightly different way. It's also kind of keeping track of my workouts and stuff like that. So it allows me to kind of oversee before it even comes up, and using different categories where I can kind of see what are the days that are going to be more heavily loaded with just activities and tasks and chores and things like that. So I can already pre-plan some aspects of it. I don't overload this with too much info though, but like it's enough for me to just keep me on track. And I kind of use two different pens that helps me kind of differentiate what is something that is just like a micro detail and what is something that is actually important that I wanted to kind of pop off the page. So that's what's happening with this, and obviously like allows me to kind of highlight days and things like that. And can I do that here? Yes. And like I said, like I think that they work really well together. in the last little bit, I will be honest with you, especially for like the last few weeks of April, I've been really light on planning here. Like, as you can tell, like I missed at least about a week or two here. It's just, even for this current week, I'm keeping it very, very light. It's definitely not, here we go. It's definitely not like the detailed planning that I was doing, like, let's say back in, I don't know, like January, February, where it's got like this color coordinated decor and everything is just kind of synced up nicely. There's tons of detail, tons of writing. I'm not really doing that. And honestly, the main reason is just, especially this week in particular, was just super heavy. And then the week before that was also, it felt really mentally draining, that by the time, like here, like I spent at least about 3 days just prepping taxes. And then leading up to this week with all the changes that are happening both at my work and personally, we just left it blank. So there are weeks when I don't really necessarily reach for this, but the only beef that I'm having with this is to incorporate this notebook, this grid notebook that I have from Baumkuchen. I'm still trying to figure out how to kind of like arrive here and then actually use this as sort of like a daily, where I have access to it here and I don't have to use a separate notebook. So I don't know, like I will figure something out for this grid notebook because I'm sure that it will play like an important role. But right now that's not happening, but I really like the weekly. But I like the weekly because I can add more details than what I have here. So I'm also slowly coming back to my Hibino. I have been a tiny bit more consistent with it, which is really nice. I'm really happy to see that. Not every day. So, you know, don't expect miracles here, but when I do sit down, then I am creating the spreads that I really like, and it does feel really nice to kind of catch up in that. So, you know, like right now, can I catch up on May 7th? Yeah, I can. Like, you know, like here's the 5th, I'm going to kind of catch up on yesterday. I already started kind of do some backlogging, and then obviously we can fill out today's as well. I'm happy to see that I'm slowly returning back to this, just because I find this actually, if I'm using it in a really functional way, it is a really, really useful tool. Is it going to be something that, you know, like I'm going to feel guilty about if I have like all of these blank pages? Not really. I think that these blank pages can be used for other productivity type like note sections, as long as I kind of make a note of it somewhere along the way that that's what I use those pages for, that it's not necessarily like a daily, you know, checking back in, and then those pages can actually be used for something useful. So, but I'm happy to see that I'm slowly returning back to it into my daily journaling. That tells me mentally that I'm in a much better place today than I was, let's say, about a month ago. Just like, I think leading up to tax season, I always find this extremely stressful. I'm always anticipating a huge hit. And I sort of feel like I'm not going to be able to like figure things out. So because that fear kind of lingers, I kind of shut down and I just go back to like the bare bone basics of what is something that is absolutely necessary that I have to do versus what is something that I really enjoy doing that is therapeutic for me. So, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate that the other things that are really great for us, we don't necessarily reach for it all the time when we need it the most, right? So that's your reminder that if you are struggling with something and you know that there's tools out there and you've identified what those tools are, then actually, I don't want to say I want you to force yourself to use them, but just remember that you can always choose kindness when it comes to healing. You don't have to suffer through things. And the other thing that has been really helpful is also this little notebook. This is from Epica. I'm quite happy that I'm finally using this up. This actually came from Indigo, out of all places. And I'm basically just writing down all my video ideas and just kind of like, just basically essentially scripting all my videos. And I really like the fact, so it's sewn together. So I really like the fact that when I lay it down, it lays flat. And so, you know, that's something that makes me very happy, that when I'm kind of looking at a notebook like this and I want it to be very functional, I don't have to like fight with it for me to be able to like write on it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. There's not much really to show you here because it's not you're seeing the video that I'm outlining here. So there's not much else I want to share about this. It's just a really functional, very sturdy. It's been coming in and out of my backpack, so you know that should tell you a lot. And this is, I think, in an A6 size, because here is in size comparison. This is obviously the traveler's notebook and passport, so it's slightly bigger. But moving on, our next category is decor. Now, I had a moment where I placed an order recently with Kubo and Lucy. If you're wondering about Kubo and Lucy and you wanted to kind of try them out, I do have a discount code, so I'll just leave it in the description. Sometimes they do have deals going on, but nevertheless, if you wanted to kind of snag up a few things, honestly they're so great. I can't say enough good things about Kubo and Lucy. They have like the most unique little decor pieces, and every single time that I order from them, they're just like the sweetest people to deal with. I bought this washi tape, which you've probably seen in my planner. Love this, love this. Like everything about this, I think I'm gonna just put the name of this particular design on the screen, just because this is, not only is it super cute, but they also make like phone cases as well. Like I love this one. The other one that I've been really loving is this other cat design. I'm not sure why we're having like a whole moment with like cat stickers or cat washi tape, but if I can get it going for you. Right? So cute. And the next washi, I mean, need I say more? So cute. So we're definitely moving more towards like decor that is very like spring and vibrant and happy. Now, as far as stickers are concerned, I bought quite a few. These are all from Mindwave. Almost all of them. So we have this guy. They're all similar, but not really. You know what I mean? I like some of these like bigger ones where, hang on, let me zoom out. So here we go. This is one. Here's the other one. I also really, really love like these. It's almost like a hand-drawn effect. Looks super cute. I have quite a few. I think I bought like maybe one or two more of this. Oh, and of course, I couldn't resist Swatelier, right? And some cute bunnies. I believe that these are either Mindwave or Swatelier. And I honestly cannot wait to use them. Now, this one is, if you know Kubo and Lucy, they do have a Dana 8 oatmeal collaboration, and I already went through like a full sticker sheet before, so I just kind of wanted to restock it. But ironically, they also sent me their little samplers. I think I have it actually, I either have it here in the TN. I don't have it, but anyways, so that, and then I like these little emotion based like little stickers. I love these just because these are like a totally different color. Like I love the color scheme that they're kind of using here. So if you wanted to add like a cute little element into your planner, these are like really, really fun. So sometimes I like kind of stocking up. Like this will last me for quite some time, especially when I'm doing like weekly layouts and whatnot. So I've been quite happy with, you know, most of the stickers that I get from them, and like they last me for quite some time, you know. So I wanted to mention them because in case you're looking for some really cute decor stickers, then I think that these might just fit the bill. Because honestly, you know, like sometimes you just need like a cute little leaf or like some sort of small, like, you know, a small decorative piece to just kind of add like an element of fun. I mean, like Swatelier also does such a great job with their stuff. So, you know, you can't, in my opinion, you can't really go wrong. And then next up, let's talk a little bit about now that we talked about decor. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to mention about decor. I think I'm gonna have to do like a hunt to like find more of these dot stickers. These are still by far my favorites. I know you're probably bored to tears with these dot stickers, but honestly, if I can find more of these, I believe I originally bought this from Paper Plus Cloth. If they restock it, I will be probably the first one to actually buy a new one. Okay, let's talk a little bit about pens and highlighters and inks, which was actually like one of the biggest thing that I really restocked on for the month of April. That was something that I've been really craving. It's just to kind of add a new element of fun into my planning and into like my pens. So as many of you know, obviously I'm a huge fan of Kaweco Sports, so I have a few of them here. But my thing was that like the little converter, especially if you heard me talked about this before, this was driving me insane. Just this one particular pen, it was constantly getting so messy. The converter was, I don't know if it was a converter or the way that I installed it. Right now, as you can tell, there's no issues. So what I ended up doing, and I mean, this was so cost effective. I can't believe I didn't do this before. So Kaweco Sport has their own little cartridges. So I bought it in blue. I bought it in black, which I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I bought it in midnight blue, and I got it in purple. It's called Summer Purple. And because I've been constantly refilling the palm green, I bought actually the full bottle. So this is in a 50 ml full bottle from Kaweco. And I know that I'm not gonna say that I will use it up, but I will use this often because for one, I like green. And for another, I really, really love this green. This is such a beautiful green. I will show you guys a swatch in a second of that. And then the other one that I picked up that I knew that I would probably really, really enjoy, you can't go wrong. I've seen swatches online, was actually the Kaweco Sport Caramel Brown. And long behold, I love both of them. Do I remember which pen has which? Probably not. I think I put the brown in here, but actually, why don't we I'm gonna just simplify life. And I know that this is purple. I know that the deep blue is this, and I know that this is this. And I didn't use the black, so I'm not even gonna try to swatch the black. And I can't remember what we put in here. I believe we put green. I believe we put this this green in here. Well, let's find out. Let me just grab a piece of paper. Probably not the best paper to swatch on, but that's okay. You get the idea. So this, I believe, is the caramel brown. Yes, it is. So nice, right? Like it looks like just like a true brown, like a really beautiful true brown. Like it's so pretty to write with it. Like, I mean, I love everything about this. So this is Kaweco Sport. Caramel brown. For the purple, so this one is Summer Purple. Very legible, very nice, and I like how it's not making a mess. So that is this guy right here. Now, I believe the Fox has palm green, but let me just double check. Yes, it does. Oh, still such a beautiful color. So this is, and then last but not least, this is royal blue. Actually, no, not last, because the other one is the darker blue. So obviously royal blue had to go into the mint. So it's just like a very nice, lovely light blue. And then last but not least, now it's last. This is in navy, and then we went with midnight blue for this one. So as you can tell, it's like a much darker, much richer, deeper blue. So these are, I obviously I got a little bit more inks besides just Kaweco Sport, but these were like the ones that I have been reaching for the most. And as far as pens are concerned, okay. And as far as pens are concerned, I ended up buying 2 new pens, actually 3 new pens that I've been really, really enjoying this past month. Two of them are from Pilot. So I bought the 2 Pilot Kakuno. Oh my God, like where have I been? Where have I been with these pens? So this is in, I believe this is in a medium nib, and then this one is in a fine nib. And don't ask me what ink I put in here, but I mean, you can tell that we're almost out. So I mean, I'm gonna have to refill it anyway. So they're both, I think this actually has a Pilot color in there, and this one I believe is Sailor. Oh, just so stunning. It's a very smooth writing experience, and you can tell like this medium looks kind of like a fine in Kaweco. So I'm just gonna keep that in mind. Now this one actually writes like a true fine, in my opinion, but this writes more like the mint green from Kaweco Sport. Sometimes, and keep in mind, like all of these pens that I show you, like every single one of these, all of these colors, they're all fine nib. So go figure. But sometimes, depending on either the ink or the pen or the nib, they do write more like a medium fine or a medium. So, and then the last one that I've been really loving, it's actually, this is from, it's Pentel Energel in a 0.5 thickness. It has like a needle point. Honestly, I'm gonna be sad if this runs out of ink. Like we will have to restock it, but I just find that it writes very smooth. It's really like, I mean, I love everything about this. I love the body. It's a very comfortable writing experience. In case you're looking, it's this. And here's what the nib looks like. I mean, I can't recommend it enough. So these were the pens that I have been really enjoying for the month of April. And then the only other thing that I wanted to mention is some accessories. I got this in a sub box, and this has been a really handy little tool, mainly because the one that I had here on my desk, I'll just show you. This looks a little ratchet. I couldn't actually close it properly because the dog chewed the handle, so you couldn't like clip it. So this has been really awesome. I will find the name of who makes it and all of that good stuff. But if you can grab yourself like these tiny little scissors, I highly recommend them just because they're so handy. And obviously I mentioned the dot stickers to you. I'm still very much loving, this will come as no surprise. I'm still very much loving my Delphonics little backpack. It's not a backpack. And my little utility bag. Like I like the fact that I can kind of add as much as I need to it, and I usually just keep it on my cart right next to me, so that anything that I need to kind of reach for quickly, I just have access to it, which is really nice. Or I can like swap things out, and then that way I make sure that like the things that I want to use up, like if I want to use up certain highlighters or certain pens, then this is the way. Plus I'm not losing the silly Apple Pencil, because I constantly lose these. And I already had to replace it a couple of times. So here it's at my desk. I know exactly where it is, and life is good. This is just an honorable mention. So the jar, so the candle, let's talk about the candle for just like half a moment. I actually make candles, and finally for the month of April, I went back to making candles again, which is really exciting. And yeah, so I make these wooden wick candles, but I bought like a whole bunch of different, like these spring scents. So, I mean, when I tell you my room and everything just smells so divine here, it's so lovely. And I'm so proud of myself for taking that extra time that I know that are like, these are like some of the things that are like actually important to me. And then when I take the time to do them for myself, like they make such a big difference. So kudos to myself for just taking that extra little bit of time to just make a few candles. I didn't make like a whole batch so I can take it to the clinic. I only made enough so that I can enjoy them because I'm selfish. I know. Can I make them for, you know, can I make them for like other people? Yes, I could, but honestly, unless I know that there's enough interest, I'm probably not going to. So, and then a couple of things that I wanted to mention with flops that I haven't really been reaching for all that much. I don't think I have too many flops for this month. One thing that I haven't really been reaching for this past month has been my take a note, just mainly because I haven't been taking time to actually journal and plan anything out. So like partially part of April, and then like I would write a layout and then I wouldn't actually finish it. So that has been a little bit disappointing. I'm going to set this up for this week so I can like back journal a little bit. But a lot of it honestly just had to do with just how busy I have been. So it's not so much that I don't like using it. It's more just that I just haven't taken the time. So overall, not a bad month. We survived tax season, and that in and of itself just needs a huge reward. And yeah, I would love to here's your question of the day. Please let me know. What is something that you have been loving for the month of April that you're actually still using into May? So let me know. Hit me up in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and you show your support by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. It definitely goes a long way. I so appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video.